Convicted Cape Coral murderer Wade Wilson will soon find out if he will go to prison for life or be put to death. I'm Fox 4 senior reporter Caitlin Knapp, and I dug into his background after the state attorney made an interesting comment to me about Wilson. The comment led me to track down Wilson's ex-girlfriend, who believes the murders could have been avoided if Palm Beach County deputies arrested Wilson for her reported crime.
We've heard from many women who have been victimized by the defendant, but maybe didn't go forward on charges or for whatever reason didn't find justice in the justice system.
That's what sparked this story after weeks of covering Wilson's trial and death penalty recommendation. Kelly Matthews dated Wilson and was interviewed by our West Palm Beach station shortly after he was named a person of interest in October 2019.
He kidnapped me and almost killed me.
And most recently, Matthews has been vocal on TikTok.
I dated this man. I don't want to be quiet about this.
Quiet about what she claims Wilson did to her in Palm Beach County. Matthews met Wilson in 2018 online, calling him charismatic and polite. She said things changed when he started reportedly using drugs.
It was just like a very toxic relationship, but he was never violent, ever.
Until February 18th, 2019, she claims. Matthews says Wilson agreed to go to a rehab in the Keys, but Matthews said that wasn't true, and they got into an argument.
So I got back in the car and put my seatbelt on, and that's when he started choking me.
She says Wilson then cut off her clothes and eventually put her in the back of her car. Matthews says he sexually assaulted her, tied and gagged her.
At some point, he had bit my face.
She says he drove them to the Keys and Wilson got out and left. Matthews says she drove home.
I should have stopped at like a gas station or something, but I think I thought no one would believe me.
She and her mom called police. Matthews says she went to the hospital where they did a sexual assault kit and took photos of her injuries. In a police report I obtained from the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, it says they interviewed Wilson, who did not admit to any assault. The report says Matthews did have bruising on her neck and a cut to her lip, but they did not arrest Wilson.
He was like, no, this is hearsay. You don't have any probable cause.
He, as in the detective, who also put in the report, there are no witnesses to the alleged crime and no evidence to establish probable cause.
Do you feel like the system has failed you?
Absolutely.
I reached out to the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, asking why they did not arrest Wilson despite visible injuries.
I don't understand how someone can do something so severe to somebody else and not even get detained for it.
About 8 months later, Wilson was in Cape Coral and killed Christine Melton and Diane Ruiz. Matthews sees his conviction and death penalty recommendation as some sort of justice.
I feel like this is good for everyone that he's hurt.
Matthews says she wants to talk about what happened for her own sake and for other domestic violence cases.
I want people to know that they can leave, get help.
As for Wilson, he's in jail, waiting to see if judge will agree to the jury's recommendation and sentence him to death.
We're a strong group of people that he didn't beat, and unfortunately it took 2 women dying for him to get noticed. You didn't win, and you're going to get what you deserve.
As of Monday evening, the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office says that they are currently working on my request. Matthews says she wants to file a lawsuit against the Sheriff's Office for the outcome of her case. Again, Wilson will be sentenced on July 23rd, and I will be in that courtroom to bring you the decision.
All right. So welcome everyone back to my channel. I am Mona. So I wanted to show you guys this video because there are some disturbing things that are going around on social media. And if you don't know and you're just watching this video, this is on your screen, Wade Wilson, who is and has been convicted of murdering 2 women down in Florida, and he is due to be sentenced on July 23rd. So this video was around or about a ex-girlfriend of his who alleges that the justice system failed her, and had they had addressed her initial complaint regarding the assault and the SA that Wilson allegedly committed against her, that this could have alleviated these 2 women and possibly prevented them from losing their lives, because he could have been incarcerated for his attack against her. So I wanted to show you this video and give you the background about this story, because there are women online who are currently lusting after Wade Wilson. So this is kind of like my part 2 to kind of debunk this whole, who would the women pick, the bear versus the man? And I'm going to keep saying this was the dumbest, argument. You know, that argument that women were having online, it was just asinine. And the reason why I say this, and I will continue to say this, is because these, you know, conversations that women have and they want to act like men's looks don't matter, that's all cap. That is cap. And unfortunately, for a lot of women, they are going to choose what a man looks like versus his background. And this Wade Wilson situation definitely confirms this. Okay. So I want you guys to check out this video by a creator who, you know, he has some concerns. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let's get into this. Mm. Y'all, the silence is loud. And I'm stopping this because he's basically just showing you. You guys can put the pieces together. These are comments from women, screenshots that he took from this post. And this is what the women are saying. Forgive me, Lord, but he is fine. Okay. And then someone here says, I beg your first pardon.
The thing is, when I heard this Wade Wilson story, I was about to make a video saying to the ladies how I understand why they chose the bear. Was about to be 100% sympathetic and say most men probably owe y'all an apology. Not to say I don't understand the context of choosing the bear. But judging by the 30-something fan videos that I've seen about Wade Wilson, judging by the hundreds of comments of women talking about how fine he is and how good he looks, with zero remorse for the women he killed, by the way. It's a little bit conflict of interest, contradicting, if you will, don't you think? Don't get it twisted. Women have always confused the shit out of me. How a woman can be literally starving and not know what she wants to eat, that confuses me. How a woman can be mad at her man for leaving the toilet seat up, but he can't get mad for her leaving it down, that confuses me. How a man is a body-shaming jerk for not wanting to date an oversized or a big woman, but it's perfectly okay for a woman to not want to date a short guy, that confuses me. And we can sweep all that shit under the rug, but this situation confuses the fuck out of me. Because how do you say I chose the bear to go with the safer route than opt to choose the devil? Hey, but I guess as long as he's handsome, right? Truth of the matter is, most of y'all chose the bear because you don't know how to choose a man. Bye.
Y'all, he's telling the truth. You chose the bear because you don't know how to pick a man.
Okay. That part.
And he's right. You know, this conversation about the bear versus the man, if a man was fine as hell, they would have chose that man. And that's just that. Okay. There was this video going around, or a picture that was going around, and it basically said, you know, depending on who you pick, that would determine whether or not that man would be Me Too'd. So basically, they alluded to, if the man was fine enough and he, you know, touched a woman inappropriately, they would let that slide. But if the man was unattractive, they would not let that slide. And whether it was done on accident or not, the woman would be more likely to Me Too the unattractive man. And we see this because you women, like he just said, you women had no empathy for the women that he killed. It's not even allegedly. He was convicted. His ex-girlfriend doing interviews and on TikTok saying, this is what happened to me. And y'all don't believe her enough to where instead of drawing yourself to this man, making fan pages and pulling away and not even entertaining that, you all are making fan pages, making these comments that you are public and everyone can see about how much you think this man is fine. And so all of a sudden, all of his criminal past, criminal history, all of that gets swept under the rug. And because he quote unquote is fine, that makes it okay. And there's actually a term for this. It's called Hybristophilia, in which an individual is sexually attracted to another person who has committed a crime. It's also known as the Bonnie and Clyde syndrome. It's a term coined by psychologist John Money. So they are attracted to people who are criminals, murderers, because of their condition of being outside of the law. What do you guys think? I just think that You know, women, we just pick and choose the things that we're willing to deal with and tolerate. And when I see stories like this of women, you know, ready to house homeless drug addicts in the video that I just covered earlier today, or women willing to house, you know, men just released from jail and prison, you know, that lets me know that y'all don't have any standards. Y'all don't have any morals, that you guys are settling. So all that hooping and hollering that you all have done for the past couple of years about we're not settling this, that, and the third, you're settling for sure. The bar is beyond hell, because if the man looks good enough, you are going to let him slide. Okay. And that's really pathetic. And it is very desperate, in my opinion. It is definitely giving the word that y'all just love to just throw around, pick me vibes. All right. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section about this topic. Ladies, you know, you should have standards for yourself, and you should not be so shallow as to allow just the way that a man looks to be that final determinant. Just like I don't think men should allow just, you know, the woman look to be the sole determinant on whether or not, you know, you see yourself or you have a relationship with this person. Don't crash out in a relationship over the way that somebody looks. Looks matter. I'm not going to say that they don't, but that should not be the only variable that ranks when it comes down to mate selection. Look at other things. So into the next video. Peace, y'all.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
We sure can't, y'all. Peace.